So it seems like everyone talks about how amazing Airbnb is, but what about the horror stories? No one's really talking about those. Everyone's just posting their highlight reel of how amazing their Airbnb business is. But what about those challenging, horrific horror stories? Just kidding, guys. But hopefully you guys get the point. In this video, I want to talk about my top horror stories because, guys, I've been operating for 5 years, doing over 150K a month, and guess what? I've had some bad apples, some crazy experiences. So let's talk about it. But before we do, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. All right, so this actually happened not too long ago, where we actually had a terrible plumbing issue at one of our properties, and the guest, they basically shoved the entire toilet paper roll, not even exaggerating, they basically shoved the toilet paper roll down the toilet. I don't know why anybody would do such a thing. And what happened is it clogged the pipes and it caused an overflow. And there was all over the bathrooms, and it even went into the hallway area of the house. It was terrible. It was a nightmare, and yeah, it took like 6 hours to fix because we couldn't find one of our plumbers that was available in that moment. And so the guest basically had to go away for a couple hours. My team finally got there. They cleaned it up. They used the snake thing to pull everything out, and then it was fixed. And you know, we actually did have a similar experience, not this bad, but a similar experience about maybe 3.5, 4 years ago, where a guest did something similar, but they put baby wipes down the toilet. It also caused an overflow, and this was at one of my smaller units. So what we did is we placed signs in the bathrooms that say no baby wipes or female products to be flushed down the toilet, as it could clog and could take up to 24 hours to fix. But somehow they missed the sign. Maybe they didn't know how to read. I don't know. But my point is, that's what happened, and it was a huge challenge. Luckily, they knew that it was caused by them, because obviously they caused it. So that was the horror story. The good thing is that the vinyl floors are waterproof, because if they were laminate or if we had carpet, that could have been really bad and could have cost thousands of dollars in damage. So again, I recommend that you guys create some signs that specifically say for the bathroom, right? No female products or baby wipes, only toilet paper in small increments to be flushed down the toilet. Because again, this could be a huge issue. Like if you have an existing plumbing issue that you may not be aware of, and this just, becomes a tipping point. When it happened 3.5, 4 years ago, it actually took like 2 days to fix, and I had to cancel a $500 reservation that we couldn't accommodate because, the place was not in a 5-star condition, to say the least. So make sure you guys place those signs everywhere just to prevent anything like this, okay? Let's talk about horror story numero dos. This also happened about 4 years ago. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with bed bugs, but yeah, we had some bed bugs in one of our listings. Now, I am 100% confident that the guest brought the bed bugs into the listing. Like, not even joking. Like, seriously. Why? We didn't have any bed bug issues before they came. It wasn't until they came. Wherever they came from, I guarantee you guys that they brought the bed bugs with them, in their baggage. One of the guests showed me a picture where they actually, they sent me a picture through the Airbnb app that they got bit by a bed bug, and there was like a little bit of blood. And this was a huge issue. Obviously, they didn't think that they brought the bed bugs, and so when they submitted, a claim, or not a claim, but they complained to Airbnb, we had to give them a refund, and they wanted to suspend our listing until we had confirmation that there was no more bed bugs. So here's how we fixed it. Luckily, me and my wife found this bed bug spray on Amazon for like 50 bucks, and this was pretty awesome, guys, because normally to get rid of bed bugs, it could cost hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. You have to bring like a special exterminator who specializes in bed bugs. And even then, sometimes they say you really can't get rid of them. But luckily, we found this magic bed bug spray on Amazon for $50. We got 2 bottles of like 24 ounces each. And all we did is we sprayed all of the mattresses, right? We took out all the sheets, we washed everything with like super hot water, and then we sprayed the heck out of these mattresses, and it made them disappear. We never ever had this issue again. But we did lose out on that reservation, which was like $600. Basically, we ended up not getting our listing suspended. Everything worked out and never happened again. Now, the third one, this is something that's happened about 10 times, right? I've been operating, like I said, for 5+ years. And no matter how much we do to avoid parties, events, gatherings, even putting noise sensors, cameras externally on the front and the back to run a tight ship, every once in a while we get these bad apples where people somehow still throw a party. And especially when you have a large portfolio of properties, it does make it more challenging to run a tight ship, right? Because, I mean, it's not like we have someone, you know, in an office looking at, you know, cameras of all these properties all at the same time. And so we've probably had about 10 parties where, you know, there was way more people than there were on the reservation, with a lot of like alcohol, beer, and loud music, a DJ, like just like a full-on party. And again, we really emphasize on our listing that there's no parties, no events, quiet hours from 10 p.m. to 10 a.m. and only the people on the reservation can actually be at the property. And so one of the things that we've done anytime we have 10 or more people at a property, which only a few of our listings accommodate that many people, we used to host on a lot of our properties 16 or more, because we thought the more people, the more dinero, but it also equaled to more parties and less dinero from complaints from the neighbors and things like that. So now we try to keep it to a max of 10 to 12-ish. But whenever there is 10 to 12-ish people, we try to ask for a second and third phone number of other people in the party. Why? Well, there's been multiple situations in the last 5 years where we can't get a hold of the main host because maybe they're partying, maybe they're drunk, and you know, if we don't live in that city or even nearby, like how are we going to get a hold of them? So by having a second and third phone number, now we can contact, you know, other people in the party to make sure that they, you know, bring the noise level down and make sure we nip it in the bud. Now, going back to the noise sensors, there's a company called Minute. They are not sponsoring this video, although they should sponsor this video. I need to get sponsors up in here ASAP. But anyway, so that's a good company, but there's a ton of others that you could just search on Google or YouTube. And we always set up cameras in all of our properties, 100% of our properties. We set one up in the front and one in the back. Be advised that you do need to disclose exactly where these cameras are located. Otherwise, your listing can actually be suspended. And that's even if they're outside. Now, I recommend that you do not put any cameras inside of the property because they can delete you as a host, like just completely eliminate you and with no explanation, okay? So yes, cameras only external, none inside, and you do have to disclose exactly where they are. And again, this is going to help you, especially at the beginning when you just have one or a couple of listings. It is easier to, you know, kind of look at the cameras a couple times, you know, a day, especially on the weekends and in the evenings. And if you notice anybody walking in with a keg of beer or way more, you know, vehicles parked in a driveway, then you know someone's probably trying to throw a party and you could just nip it in the butt. But those are some of the things that can allow you to run a tight ship. Another tip is to create a 2 or a 3 night minimum. Typically the people that want to throw a party, they just want to book for one night. But when they have to book 2 or 3 nights plus pay all of the fees, it really adds up and it makes it, you know, not very appealing to throw a party. Now keep in mind, guys, your system is not going to be perfect, right? All you can do is make it better over time, but every once in a while there will be a bad apple, and this happens in every business, in every industry. But with that being said, guys, if you guys like this video, please smash the like button and make sure you guys check out one of the other videos here on my channel. And there's also a link in the description down below where you can book a free 15-minute consultation with my team to see if we can help you build your Airbnb empire with or without owning real estate. So check out one of the other videos here, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.